Hi, I'm Alex, and 5 years ago I bought my first house having never completed any DIY.
I inherited my dad's tools after he sadly passed away, but I found myself in a house filled with white walls and decided to have a go.
Now I'm here to show you how you can learn in your spare time to do it too. Welcome to You Can Do It, a wall panelling series with B&Q, and in today's episode we're talking about acoustic panelling. I'm here in a custom-built studio today where we're going to be installing our panelling. Acoustic panelling is the perfect choice for any space where you want to reduce noise in the home because it has this clever felt backing. Not only is it practical but super chic too, and it's the perfect choice for our bougie home gym. Now let's get started and let's design it. Working out from home is becoming more and more popular, but in order to get you through those early 6 a.m. rises, you want a space that's going to inspire and motivate you. Often we can have a space at home which is a blank canvas filled with white walls, and that's not going to get us out of bed. I'm taking inspiration today from some of the boutique high-end gyms that I've seen, and so many of them have this style of beautiful paneling. When it's coupled with a dark paint color, it just looks classy, expensive, and somewhere that you really want to work out. Something else that places like that do very well is lighting, and so to create the same feel at home we can add some LED strip lighting to the place, and that will just help to give that overall cohesive look. You might have a garage floor that's concrete, and adding something like this practical rubber matting is a really easy way to turn it from garage to workout zone. It's super easy to connect together, easy to cut to go around corners. The final thing that I love to add to this space is some natural greenery, so I'm going to bring in some plants, and by having, all of these items here to play around with together, it really helps me see what the final space will look like and creates a really cohesive design. Here we are in our pre-painted garage space that we're going to be turning into a boutique gym. Use a tape measure to our advantage here. We want to measure how wide the wall is. That is 363 centimeters. Measure the height that we have, 233 centimeters. Next, we have to see about our panels. This width here is 57 centimeters. By my calculations, I think we'll need between 6 and 8 panels. I also think it might look really cool if we have some LED lights in the space and some shelves to store that gym equipment so it's not on the floor. Oh wait, over here. Okay, you don't want to be like me, and I've actually put a nail through my central heating pipe 2 hours before my mum arrived for Christmas. What you need is a stud finder. You might find that whatever you're trying to put onto the wall won't completely secure. By using a stud finder, you can drag it across the wall. Make sure you're not hitting any pipes or wires, and you'll be doing much better than me. Oh wow, you can get like in store now. That's only ever been online before. They've got such clever samples because you can peel and stick them onto the wall. I think I might go for a dark grey for this project. It's totally personal preference. I find that a really dark colour on the wall, I think will make the mirrors pop against the wall in the whole gym. And look, you can actually get lick rollers and dust sheets now too. That's really cool. When you're doing acoustic panelling, you might find that the no-nails adhesive itself isn't quite enough to hold it onto the wall. So what we want to find are some screws which will just give an extra bit of help in securing the panels. So what we want to do is use some black screws for this project. These should be the perfect length to be able to go through the felt into the wall, and if we do that with a black screw, they should be invisible. It should be a completely professional job. So my first top tip when cutting acoustic panelling is to put it wood side down. This is to stop your wood from fraying. We know that we need to cut 70 mil off of the end of our board. Make a small faint measurement. So let's measure 70 mil across the whole length of this line. Use this scrap piece of wood to connect all of the dashes. Clamp this down along with our saw. Just using that water gun action to tighten this up. And now that we've got the clamps in place, it's time to get ready to cut. Now when you're using a circular saw, one of the main things to make sure is that you have the blade in full motion before you hit the edge of the material. This will make sure you get a really clean cut and have no frayed edges. Now that we've got one cut, let's get to the rest. So now that we've cut all of our panels, the first thing we want to do is make sure that they are the right height. Trust me, you want to do this before we put any adhesive onto the back of the panels. Put this up onto the skirting. We've got our wood going into the corner. It fits perfectly. To make sure that the adhesive has the maximum surface area onto your wall, put the adhesive onto the back of the panel in a zigzag line, squeezing on this trigger if you need any more. Don't just assume that your wall is straight. Move this ever so slightly until I get the bubble right into the center. Add some black drywall screws in between the felt. These will be completely invisible, but they'll help to just keep that slightly heavier material at bay whilst our no-nails set. If you're doing this at home, always make sure to check across your wall with the stud finder before you get going with the drill. The system is really cleverly designed that you end up with the perfect gaps. The top of the panels are not sitting completely flush with the wall. Put some drywall screws at the top here. We can just follow exactly the same process to get the rest of the panels onto the wall. We've come across the wall as far as we can and we've reached our socket. So first we want to measure from the edge of the felt to the bottom left-hand corner, and the other measurement we want to take is the height from skirting board to corner. Now that we've got our measurements from the wall, we want to transfer those onto the panel. Now it's really important to make sure that we're cutting from the correct edge. Now I know that that is where the bottom left-hand corner of the socket needs to be, so I literally follow it with my finger down onto the panel so as I don't make any mistakes. We need to get directly into the center of this, so to do that we will use our drill. So let's get cutting. Oh God, I'm so good. What you want to do is bring your socket through into in front of the panel, and we'll later get some longer screws to attach that back in. Now what we want to do is get our final panel fitted, and as you can see, it's less than a full width. So we're going to have to cut our panel lengthways, measure from the felt into the corner of the wall. Now at this point, you might find again that your wall isn't very straight. So what I would advise doing is measuring at 3 points, the top, the middle, and the bottom. Take the average of the three and we'll use that. So now that we've cut this to size, we want to check that it fits the space before applying any adhesive. And just like that, the final piece of the jigsaw is in place and we're one step closer to our bougie boutique home gym. We're here in the finished space. Doesn't it look amazing? So pleased with how this socket change turned out too. Added some LED lights, which is a fantastic way to add a high-end feel to your bougie home gym. Don't forget that all of the tools and materials from today's episode are listed in the description below. Like and subscribe and tune in to the rest of our wall paneling series. I think I'll get to working out. Hope you enjoyed this wall paneling episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in to the rest of the series.